Alrighty guys, welcome back to S&S Smithing. Today we're finishing up the knife. Alright guys, so now that we're getting into the video. Last week, if you remember, we made a railroad spike Seax. So what we're going to be doing is finishing this all up. What we're going to do is, before we get to sharpening it and polishing it up the rest of the way, we're going to flip around to this end here, and we're going to grind in a mjolnir. So that's a Thor's hammer. So let's get started on doing that over at the place. Alrighty, so what I've done is taken a Sharpie and drawn a very rough shape of kind of what we want on the back here. And what we're going to do is start off with the angle grinders to hog off the majority of the material, and then use the Dremel and refine it like we did with the touch mark build. Alright, let's get started. Alright, I'm not sure if it recorded the first half of grinding this out so far, but I think you can kind of see what we're going for. Alright, I'm just going to do this side. Hopefully it keeps recording.
Perfect.
Alright. Okay guys, so the mjolnir's roughly put in there with the angle grinder. So next thing we gotta do now is use the Dremel, clean everything up a little bit, make it a little nice smoother, take away any sharp edges I put down here on the handle end. Yeah, on the inside edge, it's hard to get a picture of. Yeah, down in here. And then we'll probably head inside to finish grinding Everett to finish sharpening this up. And that'll be it. Alrighty, I'm taking the Dremel to it now with some various bits just to clean everything up and get in some tighter radiuses. What do you think? It's kind of hard to pick up the overall view of it, but I think that's looking pretty good. We'll start polishing this bit up here, move on to the blade, and then go to inside and finish up this the sharpening of this and polishing this up. I got a sanding wheel here, so just gonna polish it up 80 grit and then move on to a higher grit and Scotch-Brite and polish. Alright, working on it with Scotch-Brite now. Alright. So, there we go. The edge here's been Scotch-Brited along with the mjolnir down here. So, next thing I'm just going to do, take a file to these inside edges where it was grinded mjolnir in, and then we can go inside, finish polishing everything up, and then get to sharpening, everybody's favorite part. So, here we go. Alrighty, everything's smoothed up on this end here. And the mjolnir looking pretty good, along with our edge here. So, now what we're going to do is head inside to get the, head inside, get the polishing and stuff done, and then sharpen it, and she'll be done. Alright, a lot of you guys already know my go-to way to polish things is with a Dremel and Dremel polishing compounds. So, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to polish up this end here where we have the mjolnir carved in, and then I'll flip it around and polish up the steel here on the blade before we get to actually finishing sharpening it, and then I'll probably rebuff it up after that. Alrighty, let's get started.
Perfect.
Alright. That one's done. Now we'll move on to the blade here. Do the same thing. We start at a low RPM with the buffing compound to help spread it around on the blade, and then incrementally go higher and higher. Alrighty, here we go. So that's all done. Now we can get on to sharpening. Alrighty guys, so how I usually sharpen knives and blades and chisels and stuff is whetstones. I have this one large one here. It's got a coarse side and a fine side, so what I usually do, but I can't find my one stone right now, so I have to skip that one. I usually have this, I do the coarse side on this stone, and then I have a smaller coarse stone that's a little less coarse than that. And then I'll go from that step, from doing that smaller coarse stone to this finer side here on the other side of this big stone. And then I have this super fine coarse stone that's really small that I use for finishing it. And after that, I'll go ahead and I'll run it over a piece of leather after that. Alright, so let's get on to sharpening it once these stones soak. Alright. How I usually get started here is I do pushing along the edge of the stone. You don't have to push super hard. You know, just nice constant pressure. And the key to whenever you're sharpening using stones is keeping consistent with your angle. Hold it from like a 15 degree to 20, 23, 25 degree angle. And then just push it along the edge the way you would be cutting with it. There are people that like to drag it back, which works too. A lot of it's about personal preference and doing it the way you get used to it, so you understand you can keep doing it and you get the results you want. Alrighty. Alright, so got it decently sharp with this first stone here. So one little spot here where there's a little divot in it from the initial grind earlier. But working on this far edge of the stone. But basically ready to move on to the next stone there. So usually, like I said, I'd have another slightly more coarse one, but this is the next one I got. Alrighty guys, so this week's channel shout out goes to Wolf Den Forge. If you like things like Seax's, a lot of Viking blades, he does all kinds of other projects, but a lot of stuff he does is knives, and he does some talking about if katanas are better or the Uthbear, which is a very interesting video. You guys should go check him out. He has a lot of cool content. He goes on streaks of putting up a lot of videos and then not putting anything up for a while. So if you're okay with that, he's perfect for you, and if not, you should still do it. Check him out anyway. He's got a lot of great content. Covers a lot of hammer basics, a lot of forging basics. He does jewelry, knives, all kinds of stuff. He even goes over his forge. So if you guys enjoy this sort of thing, go check him out. Wolf Den Forge, as always, there's going to be a link up here in the cards somewhere, as well as in the description and at the end of the video. Alright guys, let's get back at it. Alright, I technically could stop here with this second fine stone here, or the second stone. It is shaving sharp once I take it off of this stone here, but I like to further refine it with this small stone here. It's a little bit finer, and then once I do that, I like to strop it on some leather. So let's get started on with this new stone here. Alrighty, so now that we're done with all the stones, next thing we're going to do is drop it. I just got an old tool belt here. What I do is I just loop it over a board like this railing or something like that. And then whenever you're stropping, you're not cutting in, you're pulling back. And push it away from the edge. And what stropping does, there's like a thin wire edge along the blade there. And what stropping does helps knock it off and get it centered. So you just stand, you strop it for a while. Some people put buffing compound on while they strop. I typically don't do that. Whenever I do it, I just do it right on the leather. It just helps get that little bit extra sharpness. Like, say you've sharpened knives certain ways tons of times before, and you're looking to get it like shaving sharp or so, and you just can't seem to get it to get that final little bit to do what you need. Like you try to shave with it on like your arm, and all you do is kind of scrape off some like dead skin or something like that, but it's not popping any hairs. Stropping will be that last little bit that'll help you get that wire edge knocked down just enough to get razor shaving sharp. As long as you got the edge there. Alrighty guys, so we finished stropping it. It's nice and sharp now. Yeah, I don't have super hairy arms like a lot of people. I usually do it on my leg, but for the camera's sake here, just go ahead. It's hard to pick it up on my camera, it's not the best quality. Yeah. The shave's pretty good. I got a big bald spot on my arm now. So it's good, nice shaving sharp. So, thanks for sticking around guys. There's the mjolnir all nice and polished up on the back here, where the head was. So, the railroad spike Seax with the mjolnir is finished. So guys, as always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you thought of the build.